Yeah, yeah. What they do. I am Josh Jones, ESQ. Welcome to Beats, Rhymes, and Crimes, the number one place to get legal information about law and hip hop culture. As always, I'm tuning in live from 305. Please let us know where you're watching from. Welcome. And today's show is very important. We're going to be talking about the best way to ensure that you do not get a lengthy jail sentence. So if you ever want to know what to do, want to know a secret of the trade to not get a long jail sentence, please make sure you stay tuned because we are going to be showing you exactly how to prevent that. So I don't want to hold you too long, but let's go ahead and get started, y'all. So today's show, right now, it's just me. Ali usually comes on around this time, so we may see him jump on, we may not. And we're going live from a couple of new places, so you may see us right now on Twitter or X at Dope Black Lawyer, or on my personal Facebook page. So I know a lot of y'all haven't seen this, but we've been rocking since around March. Every week, this is episode 40 something, and we're gonna go straight into it. So let's do it. First story we want to talk about is NBA player Aaron Gordon for the NBA champion Denver Nuggets was bit by his dog, and he is returning to the court. So this is not necessarily a legal story, but it could be if you get bit by a dog on somebody else's property or by somebody's dog and you have injuries. Those are the kind of cases that we handle. So I didn't want to not mention it, but we got a lot of other stuff to talk about, so we're not going to stay here too long. But we are going to stay in the NBA. Matt Barnes, if you know Matt Barnes, former NBA player, now he does a lot of podcasting. He's on YouTube with Steven Jackson. They got the show that comes on Showtime as well. Well, if you remember, at one point in time, he was involved with Gloria Govan of Basketball Wives fame, ended up in a whole crazy situation with Derek Fisher. Let us know if you remember that, where he pulled up on Derek Fisher at the crib. So Gloria Govan is now married to Derek Fisher. She lives with Derek Fisher. Derek Fisher pays the majority of the bills, but she is going after Matt Barnes for back child support, saying that it could be more than $267,000. So in her financial disclosures, because typically when you're going to court for child support or things of that nature, you're gonna have to disclose your income and everything like that. So she says that she's making about $1,500 an hour working in her own cannabis business, which gives her an income around $2,600, while she believes that Barnes' income is over $200K per month. And she has $8K in the bank, and she doesn't really have any property. She's saying that she's old bread. Let us know what you think. I mean, should she still be going after Matt Barnes for this child support when it doesn't seem like it's necessary? What do you think the law says? What do you believe? Let us know. Type it in the comments. Very curious to know what you're thinking here. All right. And, we don't know how much. It seems like it seems like Matt might not have be complying with the court. It hasn't provided his financial information. But we'll keep following this as well, just to make sure that whatever's going on, we keep up with. Give me just 1 second, y'all. So yeah, let's keep it moving, y'all. So got a couple of serious little situations. DJ Academics, some people like him. Let us know in the comments. Are you a fan or not a fan of DJ Academics. So his ex-girlfriend on around December 30th went live accusing him and two of his friends of raping her. DJ Academics says that, quote, this situation went over to the cops a year and a half ago. Me and my lawyer were openly cooperative because when it comes to serious allegations, I don't care who's involved. I don't want weird shit happening around me. We help the police. Whatever you need. You want a phone? You want passcodes? Let's decrypt our DVR. There is nothing they did not see. And he says, you know what the result of that investigation was? It was officially ruled by the DA and the police that there was nothing there. There ain't no charges. There won't be no charges. And there's no documentation that said we looked at everything and everybody's clear, not only for me, for everybody involved. So he says that she consensually allowed for him and his friends to have sex with her. She says that's not true. If there's any types of lawsuits, we'll continue watching what's going on here, but you got to be careful in these situations anytime you're engaging in sexual activity. DJ Academics. So I'm not a fan, but for those of you who are, you might want to holler at your boy, let him know he's wilding a little bit. And then T.I. and Tiny. So this sounds like the same facts from an older allegation, but it just was found out that T.I. and Tiny Harris were sued for a 2005 sexual assault allegation. Basically, in California, I know we talked about it about a month ago, maybe, when all the lawsuits started coming out with Diddy and all these other people in New York, where they said that even if the statute of limitation, which is the time period that you have to bring a lawsuit before you can no longer bring the lawsuit, even if that time is passed, we're going to allow for people to still file these suits as long as they file by a certain deadline. So in California, they had the same thing. It was for 1 year. This went into effect January 1st, 2023. So they had until December 31st, 2023 to bring the lawsuits. So the woman said she's a Jane Doe. Usually when you're alleging that you're a sexual assault victim or things of that nature, you don't have to identify who you are in the lawsuit. You get some protection and privacy. But basically, she said she was in a nightclub in LA, and she met T.I. and Tiny. She believes that Tiny may have put something in her drink. She says that she and a couple of other young women went back to their hotel, and she said that she was taking a shower with Tiny consensually, and that T.I. joined them, and that he later asked for a massage while he watched porn. So T.I. and Tiny's lawyer says not only are the claims bogus, but they missed the deadline for filing a lawsuit. As of right now, I don't know what that deadline is, but if we find out that there's a ruling, we will keep you posted. There have been some conversations about a very similar sounding incident some years back regarding T.I. and Tiny. So, this is almost 20 years ago. So hopefully they're not doing this type of thing anymore. And if it's true, hopefully this young lady can get some justice for what happened. So let us know what you think about that. All right. Now, I promise you, we're going to talk about, if you're ever facing a situation where a judge is going to be sentencing you and you're looking to get probation, that is not an unreasonable request, depending on what the charges are, depending on how many times you've already pled guilty or been found guilty or pled no contest to certain things. That's not unreasonable. However, right now we are going to talk about the worst way to go about getting the leniency. So this is just to cue it up. This man is in front of this judge in Las Vegas. He's actually been before her before for other incidents. He's had other situations where he was not given jail time. So the judge is now about to sentence him to, whatever sentence is going to be. So based on what she just said, it sounds like it may be more than just probation, but let's watch.
But I think it's time that he gets a taste of something else, because I just can't with that history. In accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada, this court
Oh, oh, dang. Where's the judge? Crazy, crazy, crazy. Oh, like- So the judge was not injured, but a courtroom employee was. You see this guy right here holding his head. Wildness, wildness. So let's talk about it. You're facing time. We want to make sure that the judge is as lean as possible. We don't want to lunge at the judge and attack the judge. That is almost a certain way to ensure that your sentence is going to be enhanced. All right. And then you'll also face new charges like this young man. All right. If you're in the situation, you want to let the judge know that you're remorseful. You know, let the judge know that you've learned from your actions. You would like a second chance. Maybe you want to go to rehab. But what you don't want to do is that. All right. That dude looked like an athlete. So that's what's going on out in Las Vegas, out there on the West Coast. Another segment that we like to do here is called Patrol the Police, where we kind of keep track of stories involving police, law enforcement. Um, and this week's Patrol the Police story is about a LA woman who was fatally shot when she called 911 for domestic violence. So here's a picture of the woman right here, Niani Finlayson. So basically, the story is that she called 911 to report she was under attack by a former boyfriend. Police officials and lawyers for the victim's family said on Thursday, records show that the deputy had killed another person in similar circumstances 3 years ago. So she called and reported her boyfriend wouldn't leave her alone. The sheriff department said that they were going to go to the scene. So when they got there, they could hear screaming, and the young lady was inside with her 9-year-old and had been injured by her ex-boyfriend and was requesting that they remove him. So this was not a call where she had done anything. This is a call where she was requesting assistance. All right. So the sheriff department says that she had a knife and was threatening her boyfriend, and the deputy, whose name is Ty Shelton, opened fire. The family disputes this as her young daughter, witnessed this. So she can also give information about what happened. So, like I mentioned, back in 2020, the same sheriff, Ty Shelton, killed Michael Thomas, who was a 61-year-old man in a similar case, responding to a domestic violence call. In that case, they say Thomas was unarmed, but he was fatally shot in the chest. And, the police say that this guy did nothing wrong. The family has filed a wrongful death suit against the sheriff's department. This is a horrific, tragic incident, and they've also got a GoFundMe to raise money for her burial for her young kids and everything they're going to need for that as well. So a very sad situation for the family. So far, they have raised $15,000. All right, so we're going to put the link in the story as well, but they've raised 15,000. They're trying to raise 30,000. I know back when the guy killed the Michael Jackson impersonator, they were able to raise like $1 million fast. So hopefully they can raise some more money for the family, and we'll make sure to put that in the chat or in the description of the video. All right. Also, another segment that we have is Crazy Karen Confrontations. And the next story would definitely qualify for that. Um, there is a black man who in Oklahoma was just released from prison after serving 48 years. 48 years, y'all. So this brother did 48 years, and they let him out um, at 71 years of age. So you do the math, he went in around 23, 22, 23 years old for a conviction of a woman who ended up being killed in a liquor store robbery. So the crazy part is that the judge said that she reviewed decades worth of transcripts reporting testimony and other evidence while preparing to make her decision to grant the release, and stated that this court finds by clear and convincing evidence that the offense for which Mr. Simmons was convicted, sentenced, and imprisoned in the case at hand, including any lesser included offenses, was not committed by Mr. Simmons. So the judge fully cleared him. Simmons said that the ruling was a confirmation of something he knew all along, that he was an innocent man. The sad part is obviously he lost all that time with his family of his life, 50 years. He's 71 years old now. The world's so different than 1972. So the only thing that is available to him is money. But the prosecution, unfortunately, is playing a game with this man. So they're not saying that he's exonerated. They're saying that they don't have the ability to prove the case, which the difference may seem subtle, but it means that without the exoneration, he's not entitled to whatever funds are available to people who are wrongfully convicted. But part of the issue in this case was that the prosecution did not turn over evidence. So the woman who was shot didn't die right away. She went through with a lineup, a police lineup, and identified the wrong man, but they didn't report that to Mr. Simmons' lawyer. So he sat in prison all that time, not knowing and not being able to use that as a defense when they brought the case. So he's only eligible for $175,000 anyway, and they're saying they don't want to pay him because he has not been exonerated. He too has a GoFundMe that's going on. They're looking to raise 500,000, and so far they've raised 331,000. So it looks like they're well on their way to that goal. We'll also list the GoFundMe for this as well, so that if you feel inclined, you can make a donation as well. All right. Now, hip hop on trial. This is where we kind of watch and keep up with the trials in hip hop that are taking place at the moment. As you know, the three biggest ones right now are YNW Melly, Young Thug, and then Keefe D, who's on trial for the murder of Tupac. So we talked about it last week, and YNW Melly's mom announced she was making a OnlyFans. Well, I am here to report that she says that in her first day she made $40,000 or $50,000 on her OnlyFans. Now I don't know if that's cap, but that's her claim. So we're not going to post a link to the OnlyFans in the description, but if you want to see YNW Melly's mom's OnlyFans, she said she was turning 40 and she still felt fly. She wanted to go ahead and do that. So you can Google that. You can go to her Instagram. You can find it however you find it. All right. So also headed to court. We haven't talked about much, but YFN Lucci is getting ready for court, and he wants to make sure that he's fresh as well. So he got approval from the judge to get shaved, get new clothes. The judge allowed him to have a tailor come visit him in prison to get his proper measurements so his suits fit right. He's been locked up for almost 3 years for murder charges, and he will be going to trial soon, and he will get an opportunity to get fresh. Speaking of getting fresh, Young Thug also wanted is back in trial. So if you remember last year, we reported that Thug um, his trial was postponed due to one of his co-defendants being stabbed um, in a fight in the jail. Well, they're back in court, and Thug wanted to make sure that you knew. So I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you. Make sure you know where to find it. Um, his clothing line, Act Normal. You can go to actnormalapparel.com and you can support Thug by buying something off his site and helping him pay for that defense. He's facing a uphill battle right now. So we're gonna take a look in a little bit, but one of his um, alleged gang leaders has been on the stand. He just got off the stand for the day. So we're going to go back and watch some of that footage for the past 2 days of Trontavious Stevens, I believe is how you say his name. So he's alleged to be one of the YSL leaders, founders. He admitted to that on the stand, and we'll watch some of that. However, before we do, I do want to mention Keefe D has requested that that he gets a low bail through his attorneys, and basically the reason they're citing is that he does not pose a danger at this point in time because of his ill health, and they said that he should be allowed to have house arrest and that he won't flee, and that they asked the judge set the bail no higher than $100,000 out of respect for the tenuous financial situation. Obviously, the prosecution is fighting that. Prosecutors have said that he should stay behind bars because he's a former high-ranking member of the Southside Compton Crips, and witnesses may be intimidated. And aside from that, he's already confessed, in his own way. He's already confessed to this on video, saying different things, and even wrote a book. So I do have the book. I did want to read just a little bit of what he was saying about the incident that happened after his nephew, Baby Lane Anderson, got beat up inside of the MGM Hotel after that Mike Tyson versus Bruce Seldon fight. So he said, as we were loading up to leave the liquor barn, I took advantage of the chance to get away from them scary ends in the van. I jumped in the front passenger seat of the Cadillac because I knew them ends in the Caddy wasn't built with that BS. I pulled out the Glock that Zip had given me and tossed it in the back seat. Bubble Up did the driving. Baby Lane and Freaky were riding in the back. After our pit stop at the liquor barn, we continued to the carriage house. As we were driving, the two vehicles that were with us got caught at the traffic light, but we kept rolling. A few blocks down, we were sitting at the light, and who the F did we see? The Death Row Caravan hit the corner with Tupac hanging out of the window of a black luxury BMW, waving to his fans. People on the streets were screaming, "Tupac, Tupac, we love you, Tupac." In unison, all of our heads turned. There them MFers right there. If Pac had not been hanging out the window, we would have never seen them. Bust a U, bust a U. Bubble low, bubble up, busted a U-turn and hit the gutter lane on their asses. As they sat in traffic, we slowly rode past the long line of luxury cars they had in their caravan, looking into each one until we pulled up to the front vehicle and found who we were seeking. Like two rams locking horns, Suge and I looked each other dead in the eye, our eyes locked. The terrified expression on Suge's face read, "Damn, them ends." No words exchanged. The time for talking had passed. The shit was about to go down. The next few seconds all happened so quickly. The shit was on. Tupac made an erratic move and began to reach down beneath the seat. It was the first and only time in my life that I could relate to the police command. "Keep your hands where I can see them." Instead, Pac pulled out a strap, and that's when the fireworks started. One of my guys from the back seat grabbed the Glock and started busting back. The first shot skinned Suge in his head. I thought the MFer was dead. I heard stories that Suge supposedly used Tupac as a shield when the bullets started flying, but that's some BS. Suge was already wounded. He was the first one that got touched. As the rounds continued flying, I ducked down so that I wouldn't get hit. When the shooting stopped, we boned out, and a white Chrysler Sebring full of young ladies was following us. Their window quickly got shot out, so they stopped. The interesting thing to me was with all them rough-ass niggas they were supposed to have with them, none of them did a damn thing and tried to come after us. There were a lot of shots let off in both directions. I don't know why the Vegas police didn't check Tupac's hands for powder burns to see if he was shooting, because the car we were in was shot the F up. I don't understand why people act like Tupac was an angel. He had bust down some off-duty cops in Atlanta a few years earlier, so he wasn't scared to bust. On top of that, by the time we rolled up, he had to know the person they jumped the casino was a Southside Crip, so they had to be on high alert. When the shot settled out, a couple of people in our car had fragments and glass in their hair, but none of us had been hit. So now, after writing this and after doing countless interviews online, Keefe D says that his claims were merely for entertainment purposes. So let me know what you think. I'm a little curious. Entertainment, or is that fact? So yeah, that's what we have for you for now. We do want to talk, kind of go into a little bit of what's going on with Thug, as you know, show you a little bit of the testimony of his former friend. And also, let me be clear. So Trontavious Stevens was one of the co-defendants. However, he was offered a deal that he accepted, and now he's a prosecution witness. So in the video, you'll see him testifying. He's being asked these questions by the prosecutor, but he's not really cooperating with her. So in some ways, he's what you would consider a hostile witness. So he's answering her questions, but he's really making her like pull and dig for the answers to the questions that she's looking for. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to show you some of the highlights from the case so far, courtesy of the Law and Crime Network, who's been there every day and providing that coverage.
For the day in Atlanta and will continue on Monday. YSL co-defendant Trontavious Stevens was on the stand today and resumed his direct and keep it.
So they're stopping for the week. So they're not going to be in court anymore today or tomorrow, even though they've already been in trial for over 10 months. This is the longest case in Atlanta history. This is Trontavious Stevens right here, who, like I said, was one of the YSL co-founders to his own admission, along with he admitted that Young Thug was, but certain things he did not. So let's go ahead and watch the highlights.
In mind that he took a plea deal back in 2022 in exchange for his testimony. And with court wrapping up for the weekend, let's recap what we've heard so far from Stevens. So let's take a listen.
Did you ever talk with members of Rock Crew about things that you all did that were not exactly legal?
I don't recall. Can you I don't understand the question. Can you say it again?
Did you ever talk with members of Rock Crew about the things that you did, you and other members of Rock Crew?
Rock Crew is the original group called Raised on Cleveland, which the prosecutors say was a member of the Blood Gang. They say the National Blood Gang, so they made it like a corporation. But here we go.
That were not exactly legal.
Yes.
What types of things did you all talk about?
So, shooting dice wasn't technically illegal. We had conversations about the dice game after they was over with.
Was shooting dice the only thing that was not legal that you all discussed that you all did?
Again, that I can recall.
That's the only thing you remember? You have to say yes or no.
Yes.
Do you recall whether members of Rock Crew stole ATM machines?
I'm familiar with the allegations, yes.
How are you familiar with the allegations?
It was like worldwide televised. So not worldwide, but it was like televised. So I was in juvenile detention facility when those allegations were like being thought about, being talked about. So yes, I was familiar with it.
Right. Did you ever hear members of Rock Crew talking about it? Your Honor, no, it's not.
All right, let me rule an objection. Objection to the whole rule. Okay. So, yes, you may answer the question.
The prosecution and defense have been going at it. I mean, just going at it, crazy the whole time. Like they'll make an objection, she won't let the judge rule on it. She'll try to handle the situation. So yeah, he was a co-defendant, and now he's being asked to testify. He's doing his best to be as vague as possible, as you can see.
Overruled, sir.
So I was in juvenile, and other people who was coming in fresh from off the street was like mentioning, hey, they're saying that guys from the neighborhood are responsible for these.
Yes,
I'm
yes,
not
sir.
asking you that. I asked you a very, very specific question, so if you would please answer this question I'm asking you. Did you ever hear members of Block Crew talking about the ATM desk?
Oh, no.
Never.
Me? No.
Hold on, Mr. Steele. What's the answer?
Tell the judge your answer.
No.
And did you ever discuss the ATM desk with any members of Block Crew?
I don't recall.
So back with me to dissect all of this, criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Marie.
Do you consider $500 a lot of money
The first was yesterday. This is today.
or not a lot?
Overruled.
$500 is a lump sum of money.
That's a lot.
You can pay a bill with $500.
I agree, but do you consider it a lot of money?
Anything you can pay a bill with, that's a lot of money.
So
Just giving her a hard time.
did you plan to spend that lot of money that night on the compound?
Overruled. Remember what I told you, one at a time.
I didn't make any plans. I just planned on enjoying myself for the night.
Did you know prior to going the cost of getting into the compound?
No.
Did you know prior to going how long the artist Lil Wayne was going to be at the compound?
No.
One of the allegations from the RICO case is that they shot up Lil Wayne's tour bus, and that's what they're she's getting to right now. So when that tour bus got shot up, Young Thug was actually in New Orleans, but he was at the Compound, which is a nightclub in Atlanta, where Lil Wayne was at.
And when you got to the compound, did you ask whether or not Lil Wayne was still performing inside the compound?
I'm sorry, did you say that you because I can't hear you?
Overruled, sir.
Did I ask anyone? No.
Did you try to find out in any way whether he was still performing?
No.
So when you get up to the compound and you're in the car with Shannon and Dee, what do Shannon and Dee do when you go up to the door, the entryway to the compound?
I don't know.
I'll stay in the objection.
I don't recall.
Hold on.
Oh, my bad.
Hold on. Let her pose another question to you, okay? All right.
Does Shannon and Dee go to the door of the compound with you?
I don't recall.
Is your inability to recall for any reason in particular?
The length of time it was ago, it was a long time ago. I don't remember everything step by step that happened that night, so no.
Do you remember how you got home?
Yes.
So again, Trontavious Stevens was a co-defendant. He got a deal where he was sentenced to 10 years, got credit for 2 years, time served, and then got the rest on probation. So he got 8 years of probation. As a part of the deal, he has to cooperate and answer these questions truthfully. And, if you can't recall, you can't recall. Unless they have a reason to be able to say, we have proof that you're not telling the truth. He can't recall. That's a fine answer. So he doesn't really want to be up here testifying. He probably doesn't feel good about, what most people would say he's snitching. But he's got to do it. So he showed up for day 2.
How'd you get home?
I drove
What did you drive?
to Mercedes-Benz.
Was there anyone in the car with you?
I don't remember step by step.
Yeah.
How do you
So it's going to be a lot of that. It's a interesting trial to see. It's just taking a really long time, which is not uncommon, but this slow is uncommon. And, we're going to keep watching it. We're not going to stop watching it. And as we do, so for those of you who are new, we have a segment called WTF, What the Florida? And this week, we're talking about a young lady who's been in jail for the last 2 years, who's now 3 months pregnant at a facility called TGK in Miami-Dade County. So her family wants them to investigate. They're really upset. How could this happen? And it's wild. So the corrections spokesperson said the inmate's pregnancy was confirmed. There is no evidence of sexual battery on the inmate, and the circumstances surrounding the pregnancy are under investigation. The sister said she ended up pregnant under their watch. This should never happen. This is horrifying. Investigators that a source tells Channel 7 that Daisy told investigators she impregnated herself with sperm passed to her from a male inmate. But the family says Daisy told them she was ordered by guards to say that, which is why the family is asking the jail to find the father. So the family says when she has the baby, they want the baby. Obviously, she won't be in a position to take care of it, and right now they don't know who the father is, so that they will be next in line to get the baby anyway. But man, what the Florida is going on right there, boy? So we made it. This is it. We're not gonna hold you. We don't like to do that. If we don't have any more stories, and that's it. But please let us know what you think about the stories we talked about today. Ask questions about anything that we talked about. If you have any personal issues that you want us to talk to an attorney about, don't put it in the comments, but send me a DM on any of the platforms, Twitter or X, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Threads. We're on all those platforms. So however you can send us a message, and we'll get back to you ASAP. Hope that everybody enjoyed the show. If you have anything that you want to, let us know, feel free. Otherwise, we'll check you out next time. So I'll